Like, do you think that there's a case that divorce is justifiable ever?
No. No. No, I mean, I think you can, which is different than separating. You can separate, but you can't remarry.
So you marry some jerk who, like, decides he's going to, like, beat you every day, and you're telling that person, like, you can separate, but you're, like, still tied to that person. Also, you can never get divorced. Also, you can never remarry.
Right.
That's absurd.
Why?
Because that's not, we don't like relegate someone like, well, that's your lot in life. You made that poor choice.
I think we do that all the time.
No, I think, but in a situation where we don't have to, makes no sense.
No, it would be bad to say, like, you have to live with the person who's abusing you. I think that would be unacceptable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yeah, you should separate. You should not. And probably that deadbeat in this hypothetical that you've created who's abusing you, he's on the hook to support you because you're his wife. And you have a right not to be abused. You have a right to not be in that house. And he is obligated to support you.
And that guy's going to be like, yeah.
Just like we have, I mean, that's what alimony is. All you're adding is you get to have a divorce. And then the person who's now being supported by this can also remarry. I'm just taking away that last step. Like, no, you don't get to remarry. But yeah, you get to separate. You get to have your own house. He has to pay for you. You just don't get to remarry. Why would you get to remarry?
Because there's a foundation. We just talked about the, like, 6 aspects of love, and that person deserves the opportunity for love just because. I'm saying
Maslow's
that
hierarchy involves love, and belonging is like a need. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
This is where I feel like you get into your, like, I'm just gonna call it what it is. Your Republican mindset of, like,
whoa.
There is black
and
there is white, and, like, I'm gonna stick to because in order for it to be my principle, it has to be factual 100% of the time, and so I'm just gonna say ridiculous things so that I can say because this is my point. Where it's like there are shades of gray that I think need to be acknowledged, and I'm.
Let's put a pin in this. Let's. I want to meet you halfway. So let's pause here, and I'm going to see if I can come at it from the other angle. Can you think of any actual or hypothetical, but ideally an actual scenario that you're aware of where somebody got divorced and you think it was for a bad reason? A frivolous reason for which you just been like, yeah, that's not a good reason to get a divorce.
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
Like, they just got bored of one another and never really had that much in common and probably shouldn't have gotten married to begin with, but they're just like, well, it's COVID time.
Let's shake things up.
We'll just kind of fall out. I mean, that, like, that's, I think that is from my perspective, and I am not the one in that marriage, but I think that's just kind of ridiculous. Like, well, I was just over it. Like,
yeah,
okay, because I do think that at that point, then it's like, then what is the commitment of marriage at all? Like,
but you feel like we should just relegate people to a life of boredom with, like, somebody they don't actually have.
No, because I feel like that's something you can, like, get, like, just, like, get a hobby, man.